Well, hello and welcome to the final stick of this pack of Cigar Professor. Yes, I'm hosting the show tonight because Topher has got too big for his britches. He's travelled the world as an international celebrity journalist, going over to the UK to represent the Australian media over there, and I think all of that's gone to his head. Definitely a lack of cigars has gone to his head as well. So you're going to have to put up with me hosting the show tonight. But to make sure that it is not entirely boring and not a monotonous monologue, the man who always joins the show smoking, the one and the only, Omar. Hey, how are you?
Living the dream, brother.
What are you smoking there is your warm-up cigar.
Yeah, look, I do have a slight comment to make about your intro. You were saying something got to Topher's head.
Yeah, look, him going overseas and being this, this like world, what's the traveling celebrity journalist type thing? Yeah.
Look, I think he has recently won an award. I don't know if he told you or not. I've just had it on the social media. He won an award for the ugliest international journalist.
Right. Okay.
It hasn't gone to his head because that's an empty vacuum space. It's basically gone to his triple chin.
Okay.
Making the fourth chin.
Okay.
So just so you know.
Fair enough. Look, one of the benefits that we've got is that we're going to have an interesting show tonight, an enjoyable show. We've got quite a few people already joining us. We've got Stephen. Look, he is just commenting on how amazing your beard is looking. Didn't notice mine, but I guess it's nowhere near as long as yours. So that's a wonderful comment. Yes, it is looking quite the groomed beard there. And Facebook user has said, hi, guys. Now, I can't remember, is it Stuart that always seems to be the one that turns up to being Facebook user each week for some reason? But look, if anyone is coming up as Facebook user, just go to streamyard.com/Facebook and link with your Facebook profile there, just so that when you post, we can see your name, who's posting it tonight. But hello, Facebook user, whoever you may be. And look, the man who is always willing to step up to a challenge, the man who entertains the world no matter what's going on, the man who always fills in and covers in a crisis, the one that you can truly rely on to turn up when the chips are really down, the one, the only, it's Whiskey Pete. Hey, how are you?
Hey, boys and boys. Omar, what a beard. My goodness, that's amazing.
Thank you, brother.
I wish. My nipples would be too ticklish. That's the problem. How is everyone this evening? It's nice to be back.
Well, it's nice to see that your beard has grown back from the wedding. I mean, the last time I saw you, you were cleaner than a baby's bum.
Right. I actually got a trim last week. I got all the hair off, the beard back. I've had it trimmed 3 or 4 times since the wedding.
Oh, wow. It's been that long since I've seen you.
Still got it's those
great forever.
Great jeans.
Looking good, Pete. Looking good.
Thank you, boys. Nice to be here.
So Sparks a lot evening. Thanks for joining us. It's been a while since we've seen you on the show. So thanks for chiming in again. And Daniel, one of our rock solid regulars. How are you?
He is.
It was him that was the Facebook user. Well, gents, Macanudo Crew Royale. It has received quite a lot of good reviews, and we've had 2 Macanudo cigars. Actually, we had 3 Macanudo cigars now. I lose count. We've done so many packs and going on.
97. Did you have a 2012? And then
2006.
Did you have one of the ones with the green rings on it?
Yeah. So we had the Macanudo, which was the 2009 in the Maduro with the stainless steel ring on it. I absolutely love that cigar. That was a fantastic cigar.
2009 is 97 or 98.
Oh, it was 97.
97, and then
97, that's right. Yes.
12 or something.
2006.
There you
6,
go.
9, 2000 and something. I mean, the years just all blend together these days, to be quite honest.
When you get to our
So
age.
then we did the Connecticut version of it. My only criticism of the Connecticut version was that it was a little bit monotonal. It was not. It was solid. It was same start to finish. But for me personally, I like a journey on my cigar. I like my third. So you know what? If I could have 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th in a cigar, I'd be up for that as well. You know. So
Got a second cigar, bruh. Real easy. Deep simple.
That's right. That's right. But
Pete, being your cousin, you know that you're quite fluid. You switch from one entity to another, male to female to G to B to Q to fucking all alphabets. Pete doesn't understand you.
I think you've got the wrong family.
he's thinking of Topher and his family.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example, and I don't think we have one. I think they'd be shamed. They'd shame. Like I'm the furthest on the spectrum of left wing, and I'm pretty damn right wing. I think, yeah. Anyway,
it's a bit of a race to that right end of the spectrum in between you and me, isn't it?
Yeah. Who trims their moustache the whole way back first? That's how you know.
Anyway, this particular cigar is regarded as being a smooth, good, mellow body and a little bit more premium in the grade of tobacco that they're using compared to the previous Macanudos we had. And considering they were great cigars and this is supposed to be a slightly better tobacco, I thought, well, why the heck not? So I guess there's no point delaying it any longer. I mean, Omar's already waited so long, he's got another cigar going. So I'm going to cut and light up.
Yeah, I'm actually
quite a... Sorry.
Yeah, you go, Pete.
I was going to say it's quite a dense construction for Macanudo as well. Like there's some serious, when you put it in your hand, there's some serious weight to it. When you're running your thumbs down it, look for soft spots.
That's a hard pack, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. So I don't know what just checking the Boveda strength that you had with it. But I'm picking it to be a little tight, to be honest.
It is a little
65, so that's not heavy at all. But yeah, I'm just working mine a little because it feels like it might be a little.
Mine draws a little bit on the snug side, but it's actually it's very good considering how tightly it's packed.
Yes, it is.
Well, let's double check, eh?
I'm pulling out my Prometheus Magna T to light my cigar tonight. So definitely since I stole some gas out of Omar's butane cylinder yesterday, I thought, why not use his gas to light my cigar?
It takes about a whole can, this cigar.
Takes your friendship to a whole nother level, right?
Yeah,
that's
it. Dames, while we turn the cigar up, give us a background of the stick. What wrapper you got on it? What filler? What binder?
Yeah, all right. Just let me get lit up, and I'll. I'm a man. I can only do one thing at a time.
Well, we're not too sure about the first part.
There you go. If you needed any proof that I wasn't a woman, that's it.
Oh, true.
We need a foot of beard before we're 100% sure. A full foot.
Good to see you, Pete. Mate, you're looking good.
Lovely to see you too, my brother. Good to be back.
Wow.
You might see a little bit more of me now. We've had a few changes in the old lifestyle and the old situation, which we'll get into. So you might see a little bit more of me with a little bit of light.
A little bit of sweetness on the light up.
Bruh, it's decent sweet.
Good plume of smoke. There is
you got
a little bit of black pepper, baked spice, a really sort of nutty, savory baked note there too as well. So pretty impressive light up.
Yeah, there's not a lot of ammonia there, that's for sure, right?
No,
it's all
ammonia,
spiced, right?
Well, I've actually been sitting on these for I've been sitting. Well, I mean, obviously our pack subscribers have had these in their possession for nearly 3 months now. But I got these, I think, back in June, July. So they've been sitting around for a while. in Australia, acclimatizing. So, they've really settled down. So, Omar was asking for a breakdown. The wrapper is an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper.
Yep.
The binder is a Dominican La Vega Especial, and the filler is a mixture of Brazilian, Dominican, and Nicaraguan.
So what was the wrapper again?
The wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano.
Habanos.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
And also the Brazilian in it is the Brazilian Matafina.
Now, I tell you what, I don't know if Pete gets the same thing or not, but Pete, it's got this molasses-like sweetness. That dark, earthy molasses.
I was just sitting here trying to work my way through it as well. There is that really deliberate sweetness up front, and way earlier than you'd normally get. You'd normally have to warm a cigar up a whole lot more to start getting that sweetness out of it. And it's almost nutty, but it's creamy at the same time. It's almost like, I was thinking like a custard tart, but with like crumbled hazelnuts on top. Because you've got that texture of the cream. And you're right, Damo, speaking about the snug draw, I was worried it would be an unenjoyable draw, but it's almost like the harder you draw on it, the more it delivers sweetness. Yeah. So it's almost holding you back a little so you don't get too much sweetness up front. You know what I mean? It's like, hold on, we've got something to show you. Take your time with this and see where it goes. But really interesting opening for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Stevens chimed in and said the pre-light draw, he was getting a petting zoo note, which farmyard notes
straw, fresh cut straw.
No one knows in cigars. So, look at this. Cigar Man Sam's even joined in. It's been a while since he's been on the show.
Yeah, Sam. Hello, bud. Nice to see. Nice to read you.
Yeah, he's been missing. He's been busy of late with his family and stuff, but we're glad to have Sammy back.
Yeah, caramelized walnut. I'm so with that. Golden syrup caramelized. And I just had that like custardy creaminess as well, and maybe that like the cinnamony. That's why I went with I've got this specific memory of the. It was a really low quality custard tart that you get from the bakery at Campbelltown Marketplace near the station. Specifically, and if you went after 4, they'd discount them down. So on occasions, my mum would buy the 4-pack, and they'd be like, $2.50 or $3 for the 4-pack. But
look, I got to give a shout out to Aaron. Aaron's joined us. He is the smoke ring champion of the Southern Hemisphere, without a doubt.
Amongst others,
I would put him in Cigar Man Sam because
look, do you want to? I've just made this phenomenal discovery. Topher's not on the show, and we've got the most people watching and interactions that we've had for quite a while. Is that coincidence? I think not.
I don't know. It definitely wouldn't be me, so it could only be Topher. Maybe it's because I'm wearing my lucky shirt. Check this guy.
Oh, hello.
It's a cigar smoking pug in a hoodie.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
that looks like Omar.
In there somewhere.
Omar before he grew a beard.
It's good to be back, boys.
This stick has obviously all of that caramelized, or I call it more of a molasses type sweetness and the nuttiness, but still it has like the black pepper on the tip of the tongue still lingering.
It's more reserved than molasses, and I think that I get the black pepper call because that seems like it's like molasses, but so when you make cocktails, the balance is sweet and sour, right? It's
that's right.
Salty or vinegary or a sweet and sour, kind of the opposing flavors. And it's like molasses is there, but it's got the opposing flavor, but it's not citric. Do you know what I mean? It's softened.
Exactly right.
It's like I'm just trying to think how I can describe it. Maybe it's like fucking raw coconut sugar or some shit like that.
Yeah. One of those sweeteners that are very earthy type of sweets.
On the retro, it's actually quite smooth and quite pleasant. But what I am finding is once the smoke is dissipated and gone, it does leave a little bit of a dryness behind that. Sort of got that earthy, that real earthiness to it.
But how does it? I don't know about your burn, but my burn. I haven't had a cigar with a ring burn this good in months. That's
mine's doing really well.
Perfect. But I guess
and that was one of the other things that was commented about in the reviews. Yeah, in all the reviews that I read on this cigar, everyone commented on how well it burnt.
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder whether a denser pack sometimes lends to a nicer, more even burn at times.
Definitely lends to a more even draw, but it's really hard to do to the point it's not annoying, especially when you've got the added overlay of humidities or global humidities, depending on the market you're consuming it in, right? Like if you're in a slightly drier market, then and you leave it out for an hour before you smoke it, it's going to suck that little bit out to open up your draw. But if you're in a humid market, like, well, I'm down in Hilltop and it's been raining here all day, can impact your smoking experience for sure.
Yes.
But lovely. Like I thought I'd be disappointed with the lack of smoke delivery on this compared to some of the other cigars I've got, where you get a copper big plume with a bit of work. But it's almost like I don't want it to give me more smoke. I like that it's holding me back.
Yep.
It's romancing a little.
You could definitely say that it's going to be one of those complex cigars. It's not going to be your monotone light stick. It's a decent man stick. It's a man stick.
Yeah, it's less of walking the back nine of a golf club. It's sitting down and taking your time with it. You know what I mean?
Great smoke production.
Could totally be a daytime stick thus far, for sure.
Yeah.
I got to do this at 11 a.m. with a coffee.
Got a very good palate there, Stephen. Very good palate. I agree.
Very good palate. Yes, impressive.
Everyone who's tuned in to watch tonight or is watching after tonight, we have sent out the invoices for the next pack this afternoon. Those invoices have gone out. If you we're on the last round of invoices that got sent out, you've been included in this round. If you didn't get an invoice and you're still interested, send us a message in Facebook. We are very limited in the next pack because I've only donated one box of one of my hidden gems in my own private collection. And that is
running real lean in his private collection.
Look, I've donated. I had two boxes, or one and a partial box. I've donated a whole box of Perdomo Champagne Noir, which was before Perdomo came out with their 10th anniversary Maduro and their sun grown. They actually came out with a 10th anniversary Noir, which was basically a Maduro wrapper on that 10th anniversary champagne. Yep. Yeah. So I've donated a box to the next pack. So we're limited to one box of cigars, and once they're gone, we won't have any more because it's an out of production cigar. It hasn't been produced for many years, and there's very little chance of being able to continue to buy those. It's only if you find a cigar shop that has old stock sitting on the shelf that you're going to find it. But none of the wholesalers, none of the distributors, not even Perdomo, have stock of it anymore. So
what's Cigar Man Samson feel like a poor man? Does anyone have a poor house? What the fuck is he?
Yeah, talking about the poorhouse.
That is a great name for it.
I got it. So there's a story behind the name, right? And Damo will vouch for this. I came from a reasonably strict run-of-the-mill family. Anyway, so growing up, I used to always get told if I drink and I smoke, I'll end up in the poorhouse. So it's a play on words and a slight little fuck you to say, yes, I ended up in the poorhouse. But let's definitely talk about that. I've just had a buddy arrive, so I need 2 minutes while I go give him a cigar and pour him a whiskey, and then I'll come back and kick on.
All right. We'll see you back shortly. I'll just mute you while you're gone.
Steve made another point about the footnote. Yeah. And I've been retroing this one a little bit, Steve. If I was you, man, I would give it a shot. It's not too bad. It's actually good.
Steve, I'd like to chime in on this. I'm not a big fan of retroing because my sinuses are actually, my olfactory senses are quite sensitive. I can find it can give me a temporary burnout of being able to smell and taste. So what I do is I basically exhale like 95% of the smoke out of my mouth first, and then just breathe a little bit of air in to dilute it down, and then retro that. So that might be a way you can try doing it. I actually find that very pleasant and very controlled and docile. Omar doesn't understand it, but I'm just telling you that's one way you can do it.
Hey, I'm worried about Aaron. He looks like he got cameras at my place. He's got cameras, dude. Now I'm not wearing nothing.
Aaron, you've definitely tuned into the vibes of how this show runs.
Aaron, where the hell has he been? Where have you been, dude? We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, you've been away for too long, Aaron. We've missed you.
What's going on? Although he's got, I think Cigar Man Sam will get him run for his money with smoke rings. He blows like 20 rings a puff. So in terms of number of rings, I think they could have a good little match, a girly match.
But are they quality rings? That's the question.
I think he concentrates on the numbers. He's a numbers man.
Yeah. See, Aaron blows big, blatant ones, you know, like they're in your face sort of thing.
Burns, but it's a short burn. Yeah, true. It is a short burn.
I'll give it another go.
Beautiful. As a burn, me, man.
On the retro too, there is. It's interesting. Initially, it feels soft and sweet, almost like there's going to be a floral note there, but then it turns into a sweet earthiness. I'm finding.
Yeah.
On the retro.
I find it sweet earthy as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't pick. There's a bit of a cedar as well on the retro, I think. But nonetheless, it's very pleasant.
So once the smoke's gone and dissipated, I just retro the flavors that are in my mouth, and I'm getting a bit of a leather note there as well on that earth. It's an earthy with a bit of leather in there.
Yeah.
Aaron wants a in-person have look. It depends on whether Topher has actually got the time of day to give us. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Since he's moved to New South Wales, he seems to think he's now more important than he was when he was living in Victoria. Yeah. So, it might be that whole, little fish, big pond, big fish, little pond sort of thing. I don't know.
Those shit things.
Yeah. Look, but that's definitely something we need to address and look at again. When Whiskey Pete comes back and talks more about the poorhouse, that is definitely a venue that we have actually been discussing as an option for the next live herf. So,
yeah.
Cigar Man Sam, I could not agree with you more.
It is so peaceful. It is actually, I think this is the best thing Cigar Man Sam has said in a long time.
You know, the other thing I'm actually noticing with this cigar too, it doesn't need to be babied. It doesn't need to be, you don't actually have to think about keeping this cigar lit or burning properly. It just is doing it on its own.
Am I smoking too fast for you guys?
Beautiful, beautiful burn.
Yeah.
And plenty of smoke when I go back. And I'm being long-winded between puffs and it's still burning beautifully.
Yeah, it is. It is. You guys live in the middle of nowhere, man. Seriously. Who the fuck lives in Oberry?
Oh, Daniel Andrews might move there yet.
Yeah. Everyone. That means like what, 1,200 people in the whole fucking town.
No, all the people that fled the Victoria stand, they just fled across the border into Albury.
Yeah. The chair that Pete's got is really nice.
A little bit of a flavor transition there. I haven't yet worked out what it is.
But there is a flavor transition.
Just on that puff, I noticed there was a difference. That foot smoke has just got a... Oh.
Dames.
Isn't that gorgeous? It's almost like a sweet incense.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to test your memory. Think about a box of Prof Damo cigars that do it for Christmas that you sent me 2 years ago when I was overseas from States. That cigar.
The Cuban Payero?
Payero, whatever that is. Exactly the same cigar. Very similar. Yes.
Okay. I can understand why you really love those cigars then.
Yeah, absolutely a great cigar, that one. Hard to get, eh? It's super hard to get.
Yeah, well, actually, they're a contract manufactured brand of Cuban cigar for... I can't remember who I got those through for you. I think that was...
the place in New York.
Was it Smoke Inn?
No. Other one.
Anyway, all I know is that particular one, although it's Perdomo branded, it was specifically done for a particular retail chain in America, and it's exclusive to them.
Yeah, a beautiful cigar.
So how long do you think I was gone for? Maybe 5-6 minutes?
Yeah.
We weren't paying attention, but probably about that.
Someone was counting down the minutes. Where's Aaron when you need him?
Yeah.
But I still kept perfect burn. I drew back and it just warmed up and just delivered more of that sweetness because there was less of that heat.
What a cigar.
I was just saying this cigar doesn't need to be babied at all.
I'm not normally pro tight draw, but I'm really enjoying this for a tight draw. Great dessert cigar as well with that sweetness.
Sweet.
Yum. Thank you, boys. This is lovely.
Yeah,
it's a really, really enjoyable cigar. And it is the kind of cigar you could share with friends that have maybe had 2 or 3 before, that have a bit of experience with like drawing back, but it's not overly pungent.
Yeah. Now, Cigar Man Sam is trying to be funny, or I don't know, Pete. What does he want?
Let's. Do you know about the Porras yet, Omar?
Well, we had a little intro. Why don't you tell us a little bit more?
Okay. So I've always had a dream, funnily enough. Like when you work in whiskey, the worst thing about working in whiskey is getting home, right? And the worst thing about going to whiskey events is getting home. So my dream was to get a farm that had some accommodation where I could do it all in one go, which is what I've set up. It's a whiskey and cigar and gin themed retreat in the Southern Highlands out in Hilltop. So it's 70 minutes from Sydney CBD. Currently we sleep up to 20. That'll probably blow out closer to 30. Got a pool and a dam, and we're on 37 acres. So it's basically Whiskey Pete's dreamland where I can do. So I'm out on the deck at the moment. This is what's going to be my bar behind me. We've missed the view, unfortunately, because it's dark out here. But next time at the beginning, I'll do the flash around, because in a month's time, the sun will be slightly later. But it's basically heaven, and it's everything that I always wanted. And I figure people would probably also enjoy being here. And with the kind of weekend events I book, a lot of them are bucks parties. And the biggest complaints I get is how annoying it is to book your accommodation, your dinner, all the different things that organize everyone else for payment. So basically we've put it all together where it's an all-inclusive retreat, all your food, all your booze, whiskey masterclass. We've linked in with some of the distilleries down here as well. So we're doing some distillery tours for gin and for whiskey to begin with, and then we might expand out a little from there. And it's also somewhere where you can run corporate retreats and that kind of thing from. So it's just the next step in the big plan, and it's just one. It's one of the few steps I haven't talked lots about, but managed to fall into place by an absolute fluke. I had a few good events in a row, and this place turned up. It's a yoga. It's a 18. The house was built in 1875.
Wow.
Wow.
But it's a yoga retreat before the suburb existed. So there's heaps of history here. But the bloke that owns it set it up as a yoga retreat, but he doesn't live nearby, and basically had some staffing issues, and it kind of fell apart. And then we met him, and here we are. So my dream kind of fell into place. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. So I totally would love to host you guys down here. If you wanted to do, we could do a cigar weekend if you want. We could do like booze masterclass, a cigar rolling. We could do the whole lot, or we could just host a show from here to begin with as well. I need a minimum of 8 basically to make it break even.
We could do an interesting competition. We could see if you could roll cigars as quick as Omar could smoke them.
Well, at least it'd take the stress off your humidor for a day. Give you a chance to recoup.
He's been trying for a while, poor guy. He's been trying for a while.
But yeah, if you guys want to host stuff down here, it makes total sense. So it's ridiculously private. We've got state forests on 2 sides. We've got the steam railway line at the back, which is going to be rerunning from February. So I'm hoping to do some stuff on the steam trains as well. And they've said they're happy to do a private station at the back. So we could even smoke cigars and then walk up and jump on a train, do a masterclass, come back. There's heaps of options. And the place is insane. I can't every morning I'll wake up and pinch myself. This morning I woke up.
Is that the Heritage Railway
30.
people?
Huh?
Is that the Heritage Railway thing out that
way?
way?
From Thelmy Railway Museum.
What you need to do,
right up the back of my property.
See if they can restore a smoking car for you.
And
then we can
have my face.
And
on
then
the
actually, we actually do an actual.
I can see it now, but there's so many interesting, exciting things happen down here, and it's pretty close to where I grew up as well. So it's nice to feel like I'm back at home. It's in Hilltop, Southern Highlands. It's just where the Southern Highlands starts. It's 70 minutes from. I did it in 70 minutes from Martin Place, but it was 11 o'clock at night. It's an hour from the airport though, just on the M5, and 15 minutes Sydney side of Mittagong.
So just close to Mittagong.
Yeah, but closer to Sydney. 15 minutes closer to Sydney than Mittagong.
Yeah. Before Mittagong.
But it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. And so I've got a huge deck out the back here. I reckon I could host up to 90 on this deck. It's huge. So seated, I could do easily 60. And I've got a bar, and I've got heaters in the roof and chandeliers and stuff.
That's a big hurf.
The farm
60 guys sitting around having a stogie.
Literally. This is what I'm proposing, or this is what your boys are proposing, and I'm saying I'm cool with it. Let's go. And I've got light screens the whole way around. It's perfect. Like you possibly won't find a better spot.
Yeah.
And you can sleep here, so your wives don't get cranky about you smelling like whiskey and tobacco when you get home. You got a chance to shower and swim in a salt water and magnesium pool the day after to fully sterilize and cauterize. And get rid of the inflammation, and then you hit the road. Yeah, let's talk about the cigar.
What I was going to say is I'm really finding my cigar is rewarding, taking longer than I normally would between puffs.
And this is the joy of this tighter draw. The way it's holding its heat and its burn and its burn quality is insane. That tasting note of amaretto was bang on. That's the words I've been looking for that I haven't found. But I almost feel like it's so with amaretto's a sweet almond liqueur is essentially what it is. So, but a lot of people mistake a brand called Disaronno for an amaretto, which it isn't. It's actually a sweet date liqueur that tastes really similar to amaretto. and I'm almost getting that sweet date flavor as I'm moving through to the back end of this first third as it's sweetening up. And that's I think where the earthiness, the treacle molasses, and the creaminess is all linking together, and the sweetness is actually like this Disaronno date liqueur. Anyway, you're the Middle Eastern bloke in the room, Omar. You tell me all about dates. What do you reckon? Is there any dates there?
I think 100%. And obviously, I was a bit like you.
I should kill it tasting though.
I was just struggling with that actual flavor. And I think
me too. Couldn't pick it. Couldn't pick it. The amaretto thing jogged my memory. So was it
spot on? Absolutely spot on.
Steve Crow, Stuart Crow, somebody Crow. Good one. Now that. What up?
This Scotty notes, Daniel says.
Yeah. Which is like that powderiness, like it's still sweet and delicate and bakery-esque, but the powderiness is what kind of takes it more to that biscotti, the granulated nature of it, I feel.
Yeah. I think, Pete, you touch a very interesting point. Obviously, there's learning every time I speak to you. The tightness of the way it's held, it keeps it very cool, and it's absolutely very pleasurable.
Yeah. So the amount of airflow. Sorry, I was just handing my buddy a cutter and a lighter. The amount of airflow or draw you can get through, the more air is the more heat, right? It's like stoking a fire. The more air you get in the fire, the bigger it goes. The more heat you get, the less. The more of the burn flavor, the less of that sweetness and subtlety you'll get out of it. So with this cigar, by wrapping it so damn tight and making it such a tight draw, you're almost forced to enjoy the subtlety of it. So I think it's really fucking clever because like the last time I had a really tight draw cigar was probably 10 Partigas Lusitanas in a row. And it broke my heart because I loved them. You know what I mean? But this is I haven't had a tight draw cigar that I've enjoyed this much in at least 3 years.
Yeah,
but that's probably because I've probably cut it back in the last 3 as well. But this is outstanding. This is really, really lovely. Construction, tick, tick, tick.
How many cigars are you doing a day or a week?
How many cigars am I smoking a week?
Yeah,
probably 1 to 2. No, or 3 to 4 if you include panatellas and under. I'm doing a few more smaller cigars because we took this place over 6 weeks ago, maybe it's 7 weeks, and it's been insane, right? Because it was run down. I'm trying to catch everything. I'm trying to catch up plus improve to where I want because the bare bones were unreal. So we've taken all my whiskey memorabilia. I've got a whiskey museum inside, which is cool, next to one of the fireplaces, putting the bar in, getting the grounds back up to spec. There's a big event space, I guess, on top of the pool, next to the pool. So just getting that jigged up so we can use it for, a multitude of different things. And there's a couple of cabins and all that kind of stuff. So I'm finding my cigars that I'm smoking while I'm doing jobs. So there's a lot of these Cohiba shorts and panatellas and that kind of thing. Less of the sit down and take an hour and a half for me.
Got it.
Which is why I'm so damn excited just to take an hour and a half with you.
Yeah.
No, this is what this cigar's rated at an hour and a half. That's what it's rated at.
I believe it.
I believe that.
Great value robustoage.
So what are we all drinking tonight?
Go on, Omar. Start with your tea selection. You want to oolong, lapsang, shooshong, fucking in a martini glass, of course. Keep them guessing. It looked like it to me. It looked like urine after a green juice cleanse, to be honest. But
cigar cleanse.
Mango tango, grape juice drink, righto. The old mango tango. I should have known.
I'm drinking hot tea, black tea, but here's my interesting twist on it. Something I've just recently discovered. Omar's going to shake his head. I
Fuck
Don't know
yeah,
if you
Fee
can read
Brothers.
that.
Yeah. Oh wow, cool. I know Fee Brothers well. I use them in heaps of events, but I haven't even
Yeah,
seen
Turkish tobacco
I've got
bitters.
Aztec chocolate bitters. I've got the cherry bitters. I've got orange bitters. I've got fucking almond bitters, like random shit. But that's cool. I'm gonna have to imagine that in an old fashioned, right? Imagine doing your old fat. So I do one of the old fashions I do for events. I call it a triple bittered old fashioned, just because it sounds interesting. So I'll do 2 nips of sherried whiskey and a sugar cube. I'll douse it in cherry bitters, chocolate bitters, and regular bitters.
Wow.
And stir it down like a motherfucker, big cube, and maybe even stamp the company logo on top. I've been doing some ice stamps lately. That's going well. They love it. But that imagine it. So I've also got a smoker gun. One of the other event things we do is like a smoke cocktail station where we'll do cocktails and we'll smoke them with all these different wood types. I've got pecan, cherry, apple. I think I'm up to like 12 different wood types in the brief. But imagine. So one of the things I like doing is making an old fashioned, cutting the tip off my cigar, whacking the tip in the smoker gun, smoking it into the old fashioned. But imagine hitting it with your tobacco bitters as well. So you do whiskey. So you start with your sugar cube, you douse it in Angostura bitters, just regular Angostura bitters, and your tobacco bitters. And then have your whiskey. You stir it down for a while, then smoke it up. Excuse me. Then too enthusiastic. Then smoke it up, give it another stir again. That'd be unreal. Maybe we should do that at our retreat.
Sounds like a plan. I'll bring a bottle along if you haven't got it by then.
I'll probably have 6 by then. I'll have to find out where it goes. No, I haven't seen it because I get them through wholesalers because most of them don't sell. Sorry, most retail don't sell all the different expressions. Yep. So I'll be intrigued to see where you got it. Give me 1 second.
Actually, I get it from there's an online Australian store called Bitters Only.
Yeah, have heard of them. Give me 1 minute.
James, unfortunately, I have to ash my cigar.
Why is that?
It went off of me.
Oh, it went out.
I don't know
you
how.
Haven't been smoking. You've been smoking the other cigar instead, I bet.
Nah.
There we go.
I'm a little bit further along than you.
You wouldn't believe it. With all the smoke I go through, I've got my fireplace on inside, but because I'm outside on the deck, it's all the smoke. It's really, really still at the moment. So it's all the smoke that's coming from the fireplace that's making me sneeze. Yeah. The irony. The fucking irony.
Actually, I'll tell you what got me onto the brand Fee Brothers is the rhubarb bitters.
Oh, yeah, killer. Great one.
Fantastic. And I also like the cherry bitters they do as well.
Cherry bitters is great. Aztec chocolate bitters is a massive tick from me. I love it. Been using it for like a decade and a half. But yeah, and celery bitters is a really interesting one as well. If you like Bloody Marys or savory drinks, even if you do what's the drink I'm thinking of? A Gibson, which is a pickled onion martini, which I'm a huge, back in my strong drinking in public after work days, I'd start with 2 of them. It's a pickled onion martini, a couple of nips of really savory gin, like a Westwind Cutlass, 20 mils Nolly Pratt, which is a vermouth, make it sweet, and then hit it with something like celery bitters, and then pickled onion juice, and then 3 pickled onions on a stick. And the idea is you drink it in 3 sips with an onion after each sip. So you have 2 of those in half an hour and you're good to go for the evening session. It made me famous. No, not really. Made me a drum. Yeah.
Hey, you got to educate Daniel about my cigar smoking habits.
Well, Daniel, the truth of the matter is we're in tough financial times and Omar is just trying to maximize his dollar return per minute. That's what it comes down to.
I was careless just then and lost my ash, but my ash was great until then. I was popping the cork off the bottle.
Thanks, Sam. Sam's liking my glass.
So what about tasting notes? since you've relit, Omar, what are you getting? And Pete, your ash has dropped. What are you getting?
Is Omar first or me?
There you go.
Righto, hold on one moment. Let me check. Yeah, right. So, like as you'd expect, it's getting deeper and richer and more of what you'd think. But to me, it's almost getting more chocolate milkshakey, like significantly sweet chocolate cream, like taking it to way further down the path. It might be the whiskey I'm having as well, which is a sherried whiskey. Could be that. Hold on.
Make a difference.
And I'd agree with you. It's almost like, when you get those chocolate milkshakes where instead of using the sickly sweet syrup, they actually make it with the cocoa powder. So it's not too sweet, and it's just got that little bit of earthy dryness to it.
Not overly like sweet, but yeah, it tastes like a $13 chocolate milkshake from somewhere fucking fancy and full of shit with hippies.
That was probably the pre-COVID prices. Like it's probably $26 now.
Shave and created milkshake. Now, put that in your tasting notes and smoke it. It's good to be back.
Did you see the ring? You just fucking missed my ring, Dames. That's all I fucking expect from you. To fucking mix.
I'll have to go back and watch the show in replay.
Interesting. In my case, I think it's gone a little bit more cedary, sweet, earthy, but I haven't got that thick, milky note. I think that's after I relit the cigar, and that might have something to do with that.
Yeah, right. And also keep in mind, I dropped the ash as well. I feel like it creamed up once I dropped the ash. Is there anyone that's on the chat that's has unintentionally dropped their ash and has experienced what I'm talking about to validate me? Feel free to chime on in.
Steve has been
So
still very sweet for me. Still sweet. Beautifully sweet. It's almost like this anomaly because you don't normally associate cigars with this depth of savory earthiness with this amount of sweetness and softness to it.
Yeah, it's a weird combination, right? It's like when you sweeten cacao, like that same sort of vibe, but broader.
Yeah,
I just dropped my ash all over my keyboard.
Why I have to put it on the table so I don't spill booze and shit all over it.
I was saying that I kind of resonated with Dames what he said about the mixture of sweet and earthiness with the savory notes is kind of very interesting. That's not usually the hallmark, but
subtlety. So this cigar for me is almost like a cigar version of Japanese whiskey. In that the beauty is in the subtlety, right? It's delicate and you're forced to take it at a slower pace. Japanese whiskey, it doesn't matter the quantity that you drink of it. It's not until you slow down and take the time that you'll appreciate what's actually going on. You can slam a whole bottle easy as, done it. Tick 50 times over. But and you can drink it at that pace and you could smash this cigar if you wanted because it's that type of cigar. It's not overly confronting. But because of the draw and because of the construction, you're forced to sit down and shut up and enjoy it. And I like the bold nature of that from a non-Cuban supplier when they're competing with everyone else, because this is kind of, in a way, revolutionary, I think. I haven't smoked a cigar with this density, with this kind of burn quality, that I am not running for a lighter or a something to shove down the middle of it. Perfect draw, that's what you call it. Not that I own one, but you know what I mean, a skewer. Yeah. This is just a really pleasant, tight cigar, and I was worried. I pulled it out 10 minutes before, and I was worried that I was going to have to bullshit my way through it, but it's great.
Yeah.
Well, since my ash dropped, I definitely get what you're saying. It's not so much a creaminess, but more of a milkiness that's come through.
It lost the custardiness, and it thin like the custardiness, the vanilla aspect of it thinned out, and it got deeper and earthier, more cacao-y with still like a hint of solid sweetness. Call it raw fucking honey since we're on a farm. I had a big bucket of raw honey there from my neighbor. That's good fun.
Don't tell Omar that.
No, we'll turn it into mead. What do you reckon? No, I've been using it for cocktails and stuff. It's good. So I think Omar's filming me.
Huh?
I think Omar's filming me.
I'm always filming you.
Yeah. Good. Did you see that thing I did it this morning about 11:45? Killer, right? I don't know how I'm that flexible, but no.
Hey, I thought it was just after 12, but maybe it was quarter to 12.
Nah, to be honest, I was up at 3:30 because it was pouring down here. We've had 75 millimeters of rain in the last 24 hours. It's been insane.
Early.
And I got a massive dam, and from 10, I went down and half opened the spillway before I went to bed at 10 p.m. And I woke up at 3:30 to it pouring and went down and checked it. And it had like lodged it back in slightly, but it was still spillwaying. But we were taking a lot of water, and the previous people that were managing it had a similar problem, but didn't watch it and nearly washed away the dam wall. And it's a big ass dam wall. It'd be like 150 grand to fix. Anyway, so I spent from 3:30 till 9:30 in the rain by the dam getting that sorted. But it's all good. I still have a farm and a dam. Win. And then after I conquered it, I literally roared. I was like, oh! And I went up to the farmhouse and cracked a beer, drank it, and then went back to bed for a nap. Because that's farm life.
Yeah, it's a farm life. Well, is there still a little bit of spice? I think it's either cayenne or black pepper or white pepper. Something along the lines. It could be all spice.
It's for Christmas spices like nutmeg. Yeah. No, maybe not nutmeg.
I was going to say it's almost like the tingle that you get from ginger, but not with the flavor of ginger. Just sort of like the texture feel of ginger.
It's I don't know, cinnamon, but it's got spice on it. It's pleasant, sweet.
Yeah,
but it's got a bite.
I like cinnamon.
I reckon the proposals that Pete put forward, man, that sounds very good. It could happen early next year. You know, we got a bunch of boards.
Yeah, if you guys like, let me know, because we're trying to. So basically, what we're trying to do is do a combination. We managed a few Airbnb guests that booked the whole place early, and we've got someone booked for Christmas. But we're trying to steer it more to the retreat. So I'm doing like probably approximately fortnightly. I'll run like a whiskey or a gin retreat, which I'll have a masterclass. It'll be a 1 night or a 2 night thing. And then we'll slot in other things in between time, basically. But we can fit it around you guys for sure. If you guys come to a consensus of a day. We're an hour from the airport. So even if you're interstate, I've got in fact, my buddy that's here is my recruited van/bus driver. We could rent a van. We could do a pickup from the airport, and everyone could be in here in an hour and stay the weekend if you wanted. When's your isn't your anniversary like now?
December.
Yeah.
I thought it was something of November, late
actually,
November.
the end of November, beginning of December. Well, technically, this would be our anniversary stick.
Yeah.
Well, and when you know it, bloody Topher bloody ditches us.
Yeah, but that's
our
all right.
Anniversary.
You got the originals that matter.
If I basically make a comment based on observation, it's probably one of the best shows we did. We got a mixture of opinions about the notes, the quality, the sticks, the cigar, anything to do with cigar, plus that's stuff that Pete's doing. It's got combination. It's got all things covered, and it's no fucking no bullshit.
You're only halfway through.
Yeah.
Shit. Where's the musical act? Neil just restrung my guitar last week, Davo. So if you want me to, I can sing us off. Picked it up for
Why
a while.
not?
I can prefer your voice over Topher's any day.
Well, look, our very first stick was Friday, the 4th of December, 3 years ago.
Wow.
And I thought it must be like pretty much anniversary. Maybe like
Yep.
if you want to do something, maybe you call it a delayed 3-year
Belated anniversary.
I know,
Yeah.
I know the 3 years for me have been pretty fucking wild, and I wouldn't mind celebrating with you guys. And for me, getting this place and getting it, like, you know, it's a huge step in the actually ticking a box to reclaiming, you know, like after my car accident. I feel for the first time, I feel further ahead than I was before COVID and car accident and that kind of thing. And I'd really love to share it with you all if you want to come
Right.
down. But if it's
Yeah.
just, even if you just come down for an afternoon, but if you want to make it a staycation thing, totally, why not? It means you can have all your people from everywhere. We're all hanging out in the same spot. I've got no neighbors. We make noise to any time and smoke and drink as much as you like.
That's that sound.
And we cater.
Look, I would love to have that happen in late January or February, or whatever. I think.
Oh, it'd be Feb at this stage. Either mid Jan or Feb, because late Jan's all sorted with Australia Day and stuff at this stage.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. I think it would be silly for us not to do that. It sounds like a great opportunity for us to do it.
There's like the way we saw it, because this is my wife and I couldn't have done this by myself. She's the admin genius behind this that makes all this happen. But the way we saw it is like we were taking the punt on creating a space which is designated purely for creating high energy evenings, as in with good people and good vibes and that kind of thing, and building community. And it's like this little paradise spot where we want to bring people down that are, I don't want to say worthy, but worthy, you know, to have great times together and have this place for community and this little respite, like an embassy for fucking, I don't know, good times or energy. So it's like halfway between a yoga retreat and a booze cruise. And there's nothing really like that. You know, you go to a hotel and you book a few hotel rooms and you get loose. You're worried they'll kick you out. You go to your yoga retreat. You're worried they'll judge you. Yeah. It's like this halfway in between. And to find anything similar, you've got to go the whole way to Byron. But we're an hour from Sydney and we could do it for half the price without the transport costs.
Yeah. My only concern is I'll be completely. Now, look, it's what you're saying is it's definitely great, but I've got one concern. Look, please don't take an offense.
There is interview facilities, but you don't need to.
Now, my only concern is that what you're saying, you're basically describing or articulating that you can't have Topher there. Is that what you're saying? Good quality, good vibes. Good people.
What we do is we schedule it when a show is on, and we just don't tell him about it. We're all there, and he's not.
We had a helicopter ready to pick you up and everything. It's the other thing. We could bring everyone in by a helicopter. We have the space. That'd be fun.
Hey,
if anyone knows anyone. But I saw a comment there about it's like a spiritual retreat with cigars and shit, and that's the fucking truth. Because for me, like, what's spiritual for some people is not for others.
Yes.
And if you're part of this community, you understand the brotherhood and the spiritual connection that comes from good quality nicotine and good company.
Yeah.
And creating a space where we can do that in a safe space and talk and shoot the shit. Like, you know how many events I've run at how many different venues. Well, now
have you got a spit roast there though yet? Because Omar promises to do me a lamb spit, one of his infamous lamb spits. I'm still waiting for it.
I think that's a proposition, not a menu suggestion. But just so you know. But I linked up with I did an event at another flasher property. It was the launch of the new Kia EV9 the other day, which is like their Range Rover electric version.
Yeah.
But they had these guys that do this fire cooking. They call it Espana. I can't remember it, but it's all fire cooking. Anyway, I've got all their details. It's amazing. It's like the 200-year-old harvest style cooking where they have all these big frames that go over fire pits and they hang pineapples up and they smoke everything. Anyway, yes. So I've got the connection for them and they can do catering here. So we could do that. We could do a full smoked catering evening, smoke theme the whole time. Or we could build a side smoker or buy one and do it to spec.
Or we could all just sit around a big circle and just blow our smoke into it.
Yeah, exactly. If you give me enough time, because I've got a huge herb garden at the moment, but I'm just starting to build veggie gardens, which will go around all our glamping tents and surround it. And basically, if you put your order in with the right season in advance, I can put in whatever you want to eat, grow it all here, and then we can get a chef to come in and cook it all up and do the whole thing. We've already got a few celebrity chef weekends booked down here with that sort of thing.
Omar's already contemplating whether cigars classify as a vegetable request.
Can't do it on the block. But we
That's
can.
A possibility, Daniel. That's a possibility.
So I've also got a whole, actually, if we're talking about February or March, there's a whole we did a whole pile of clearing just before I moved in up the back. And I've got probably 6 or 7 big bonfire piles that need to be doing. And Damo.
Now we're talking. Bonfire and cigars, best combination ever.
Well, bonfire and fireworks used to be a tradition on the farm I grew up with when Damo was just getting into his fireworks. So maybe we could do that's got to be 23 years ago, I reckon.
Yeah, wow.
Long time ago now.
Maybe we're due for a reunion.
I was just doing my cigar note. That's all right in my diary.
Yeah, well, you guys let me know the dates that you're into. Why don't you have a chat with all your group? Maybe send out a group email, find dates that people would be interested, and we can work it out. If you want to do one night, sweet. If you want to do 2, cook even better. We can do a distillery tours or a couple of distillery tours. Or
the thing is,
we could all I could run a cigar rolling seminar. You could do a cigar sourcing seminar. Whatever you want. We could bring in other people.
And Omar can do beard grooming seminar.
The trick is don't groom it to get it like that. The grooming is where you're going wrong.
Oh, no. He spends hours and hours a day. Trust me.
Just
he walks around with his little grooming kit.
It actually would be out past his ears. He's just cut it 50% down just for the downwards bits. Be the Einstein of beards, I'm sure. But it's fucking impressive, bro. I feel like I could grab you by the ankles and sweep my floor.
I've actually trimmed it 3 times substantially. It was going real big.
Yeah, it was a side hustle.
Gotta touch on a serious note, on a super serious note. Were you just saying? Someone said about something about spirituality, and I think what we obviously know, but we forget sometimes that originally the old tradition of cigar smoking or tobacco smoking in the the North American continent and Central and South America, whatever you want to call that, was actually directly related to spirituality.
Mapacho.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
Tobacco was popularized by it, and the Aztec shamans would smoke mapacho, which has approximately 9 times the nicotine of regular tobacco, and they'd smoke it in order to connect with the gods. And we've had this chat historically a long time ago, but the nicotine and the high level of nicotine, what happens is the nicotine helps the connective tissue between the left and right hemispheres of your brain communicate more effectively, right? So you've got logic and creativity, hopefully. Had logic and creativity, hopefully. But now all of a sudden they're communicating more effectively together. So it's like your brain expands and you connect with the atmosphere. I've smoked Mapacho. It's an amazing experience. They do it. I just did it by itself. I've never done ayahuasca, but I believe they smoke mapacho before ayahuasca ceremonies as well.
Yeah.
It's that kind of spirituality. But I think all of us are aware that there's more going on. Like, it doesn't matter what you believe in, but I think we would all be very remiss to pretend like there isn't more going on in the world and behind what we can see, right?
Yes,
It doesn't matter whether you're an atheist or religious or spiritual or Muslim or whatever it is. There's more going on than what we can see, and there's something about this ritual that seems to cut through that, which gives us clarity to be in the moment. And there's something incredibly special about that, and the way that helps you connect with your other men, women, citizens, and the people around you, and expand and talk about things and have a reason to do it. It's fucking special. So I put my cock on the block and dropped every dollar that I had plus more that I don't have into trying to find a space we can do it.
Well, now, I don't know what you're talking about, Steve, but I have a lot of herf in a day. So I should be dreaming 24/7. But he's right. Look, I definitely agree with Pete.
Omar dreams about more cigars.
Yeah, I do.
He dreams of walking into Damo's humidor, moseying around through it, perusing, seeing what's there, working out the inventory, walking. I feel like I was going to get more validation than that, but anyway.
Now, but see, as you said, I think the key is we know that it connects the left and right side, which is the emotional and the logical side of the brain, and the combination of that in some sort of harmonious way is great. You can have completely opposing humans can sit down and have an educated conversation without being any negative bias.
And they're too chilled out to want to fight.
That's why if I was to ever get into Parliament, I'd be pushing for legislation that it's mandatory that if you want to speak in the Parliament, you've got to have been at least a third of the way through a stogie before you open your mouth.
Just to chill you out and make you think. Logic and creativity. Logic, creativity. I love it. I'll second. I'll spearhead that. And I reckon I've got some weight because have consulted a British American and Philip Morris and fucking like basically all of them. So like in terms of consultants with an opinion on tobacco, we need Hockey back. Joe Hockey would fucking go for it.
Yeah.
Well, see, I reckon there should be a religious exemption on tobacco tax. So if you're bringing in the tobacco for religious purposes, it doesn't incur any tobacco tax. Omar's for that one.
Yeah, so
we say it's something a little bit more politically correct, that tobacco used in religious ceremonies is exempt from tobacco tax or from taxes or excises and duties.
So every time we smoke cigars together, someone's got to get circumcised.
Yeah, well, look, we put it to the vote at like 4 o'clock on Christmas Eve or something like that.
Yeah. Who it is? It's called the short straw, the extra short straw.
Cigar Man Sam has paid. He's about 68 or 78 or whatever.
Fuck.
I don't know. But the first time he paid $250, first time in his life on tobacco tax, and he's crying, dude.
Fuck.
Cigar Man Sam, you would cry if you'd seen some of the tobacco tax bills I've had in my life. Back when we were doing 13 stick packs, and I'd order in 13 different cigars and two or three boxes of each, plus a whole lot of other inventory. The biggest tax bill I think I ever copped in my time was just shy of $22,000.
There you go, Cigar Man Sam. Get that into you, dude.
Cop that. That's like rent for a month here. No, not quite. That's 2 months.
I had an interesting
note. my ash dropped again, but before it dropped, I was getting that. You know that those little Dutch licorice lollies. They're like an unsweetened, very earthy, dry licorice, little tiny drop that you
with
just
like
sort of suck
a
on.
caramelly bit on the outside. But they're in a
Yeah,
black
really intense.
Right.
I was getting a vegetative note, but then as I was sort of puffing through that, it was sort of turning into that sort of deep earthy licorice.
I'm savoring out for sure. I'm getting more.
Yeah,
to like,
it's losing its sweetness where I'm at the moment.
Is it Rye Vita biscuits with the chocolate fucking coating on them? Where it's dust, you know, like the wheat biscuits with the chocolate. Oh, Weston's chocolate. Remember the ad? Or I prefer Weston's chocolate wheaten, wouldn't you? And it was like a
You're showing your age now there.
Yeah, it's a Weston's chocolate wheaten. That's where I'm at.
Hey, Pete, just a weird statistical data for you.
Yeah.
Out of all cigar professors, our birthdays are lined up. So Damo is on the 8th of March. You are in 10th of May, I think.
Fuck, how do you know that, bro? That's good job.
Good memory. Topher is 4th of April. So March, April, May, and I'm in June.
Shit. So if we ever take anyone else on, it's got to be March or
so we have another Herf in June as a massive combined birthday party, and everyone can bring us presents.
Done.
Do it here. We might be able to do it in the snow down here. Do it at Christmas. Maybe. I got heaters.
You better keep a couple of those bonfires going for us then.
Well, I've literally got 7 at least, and they're huge. So if you we could get a permit to do fireworks. We could do them around the dam and whatever, if you wanna. But if you wanted to do the last time we celebrated Cigar Professor was doing the thing at the General Gordon. You know, it seems like the next step would be to ramp it up.
Daniel feels like he's missing out. He's trying to charm in and say, "I'm 8th of March. Do you need a medal, dude? Would you like?"
Oh, I thought he was suggesting for dates for a fucking thing down here.
Yeah. Stewie is in July, dude.
Well, if anyone's in April, May, or June, you know, we'll sub out. I only just came back.
Now, Stuart says he reckons it's too late to light up, but look, if we ask Omar, there's no such thing as too late to light up a stick. So
it's never ever too late.
Definitely drying out. Totally drying out.
Drying out, yes.
It's a totally different thing, and I can't. It's more like you know those the 3-stack sandwich wafers that you get the biscuits, the long finger wafers, and they come in strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla and/or coffee in the early 90s, and they were cheap.
Yeah. I was actually funny you should say that. I was just thinking of those chocolate ones, smelling.
Or the chocolate or the coffee-ish one. Sometimes they do a mocha one if you bought the fancy pack for like $2.80 instead of $2.32 from Franklin's. Those mocha wafer triple fucking blend things.
Yep,
boys,
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
What's the
and cashews? Because fuck it, we need a nut in there. I was married. Yeah, I'm still married, so that's good. She's good. We've been under a fuckload of. Sorry, I was answering a question from the thing, but we've been under a fair bit of stress with everything going on down here. But dreams take work, right? But we're good. She stays in town a couple of nights a week, including tonight, because she's still running her pole dancing and aerials business, and then I'm down here running the show, and we meet up when we can.
Cigar Man Sam is trying to be funny. I don't think he's really funny.
Yeah, with his head laying on your chest, or still covered in baby oil and regret.
No. See, Omar likes to stroke his beard. He's got beard envy of Sam's beard.
Fucking, I haven't seen Sam's beard in a long time.
It's a little bit more trimmed and more narrowed down a little bit now.
Slick.
Yes.
That way he doesn't get a pat down when he gets pulled over.
Yeah. Hey, what's
bro.
the consensus between the light of first third and second third? So first third we had sweetness with nuttiness. How would you sum up your second third?
First third was the most revolutionary for me, but it
Yeah.
needed to be to grab me on this cigar with this draw. If it was too mainstream and too cookie cutter, it would have felt less rewarding. But because it was so fucking interesting at the beginning, it made you want to pull through. Second, third feels a lot more like the cigar I expected. Almost a little Pollo de Monterey Epicure number 2-esque, like that slightly sweet biscuit but savory. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where it's not fully caramelized.
Yes.
And then this back, I'm getting a little bit of swelling and cracking coming through on my wrapper in this back third, which is the humidity coming through because it has been such a tight draw. Yeah. I'm intrigued to see where it goes from here. I can feel the nicotine picking up slightly, and I can see a couple of bits of stamp.
Omar doesn't know that the meaning of that sentence.
No, it's a good thing. It means my logic and creativity is connecting. It's good.
Maybe that's the problem. That doesn't happen for Omar.
But as I'm getting into this back third, it's almost like a dryish fucking Woolworths mud cake from circa early 2000s. Remember though, like everyone would take them to a fucking birthday party. The
ones that had the paper cupcake, but it was like a massive size, and you peeled the paper down on the sides of it.
Yeah. Well, I think the icing went around, but it come in the box or whatever, and it had
I know the ones.
Like it was sweet and soft when you chewed in, but if you took too bit a bite, you'd have Milo cough. You know, like that dryness, even though it felt moist, it's like that same thing. Like it's still sweet and succulent, but dry.
And you're summing up all our family get-togethers there.
Circa 2000 mug cake, fucking Milo cough. That's the closest I can get. But how good are fucking tasting notes, right? On that note, I need
I'm really enjoying this cigar. The complexity of this stick has just been incredible.
I'm going to let mine cool down a little because I puffed on it. I'm going to hit the bathroom quickly and I'll be back.
All right.
In other words, he's just going to walk off set and just piss on the ground.
Yeah, that's it. He's muted. Stewie. Listen to him. He's bad. Fuck. This is the Stewie. That is a comment of the fucking year. This is the comment of the fucking year. I need to take a copy of that. He says, like a pie. Too big bite, it tastes like shit. Oh, Stewie. Dude.
Wait, hang on. I think I just went out.
Yeah. It just
died on me. Died on me.
James, what Pete said, and it makes sense about the humidity of it, and that's why it's done.
So, I'm going to show everybody the best way to relight a stick that goes out on you. So, you don't need the perfect draw for this. You can just use a match or something else, but I like to use the perfect draw. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the perfect draw and scrape the ash off into my ashtray because I don't want to burn any more of the ash into my stick. I'm going to get rid of all that white grey ash. So, unfortunately, I'm doing it out of camera view because I don't want to get it all over the computer. I've got it closer to me tonight because I'm running the show.
Yeah.
So anyway, see how it's nice and black now?
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and gently warm it up again and light it. It'll light a lot quicker and easier.
Yeah.
And I'm not letting the flame touch it, actually. Let's see if I can get the angle right. So that's the best way. If you need to relight a cigar, scrape the ash off, and then
Stewie's on fire today. Pete's prostate health is obviously compromised.
interesting. Some of those earlier flavors that I was actually getting in the stick, sort of after the transition from the first to second, third, some of those sweeter, lighter notes have just come back into the stick since I've relit.
Yeah, makes sense.
Bit of that pepper spice has just come back in, but that's very common. When you relight a cigar and that intense heat hits it again, you will get peppery, spicy notes come back into the cigar. So I just, while you're away, Pete, my cigar just suddenly just stopped on me.
That's interesting.
And so I just showed how to scrape the ash off and just gently retorch it.
It's interesting because I've walked away twice and left it for a significant period, and mine's just lit straight back up. I am quite humid down here tonight. Like, it's probably 80 to 90% humidity because it's been raining all day, and the back end is starting to mess up a little and get some swelling and cracking and that kind of thing. But it's not affecting my draw or the enjoyability of the cigar. And in fact, almost the density of cigar meant that I felt more brave to chew it, like, and have it between my teeth. Because there's more structure and more depth to it where it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart, which was
so there's a good question. To chew or not to chew on a cigar? There's those that say yes and those that say no. Where you obviously sit on the chewing side.
Well, like, I'm not pro chew to the point that you take a V cut like the American style on a golf course, talking and chewing, playing poker. But I inevitably, because I drink a bit of whiskey, I hold it between my teeth and I'm chatting at the same time. I don't want to feel like I need to be too delicate with a cigar ever. I always feel disappointed. Like, if a cat cracks too early, I'd rather, like, I feel like part of the enjoyment is not having to feel like you have to baby a cigar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you want to, like with your glass, you don't want something super delicate where if you got to put it down real gently. If you put it down too hard, it's going to shatter everywhere. In the same way, I feel like the masculinity of the cigar experience, you want a cigar that you can, wave around, talk with. It's a wand, it's a chewing stick. It does lots of different purposes for your evening. But with that in mind, this cap has held up. I'm probably chewier tonight than normal, but this has held up really, really well. And I'm on a flat cut.
So I've got a beautiful licorice note since I've relit.
Yeah, mine just got aniseed while I was waiting.
Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm really, really just so glad that it's just, I'm almost down to the business end on this stick. Yeah. I'm just glad that it's just throwing something else in there just to keep me interested, to get, new surprise, like right at the end when you don't expect to be getting much more out of it. It's just, wow.
I think it's also really worth commenting on the fact that this had, for a non-Cuban, Macanudo of all cigars, had some really distinct flavor third, really distinct journey, and it was fucking surprising, which is normally what you look for in an amazing Cuban cigar. The reason you take the risk on Cuban cigars when the construction quality isn't the same as non-Cubans all the time is because of those distinct three flavor thirds and the journey it takes you on. This is a non-Cuban with some of the best construction quality I've ever had that took me on three very different, very unique flavor journeys. And I felt like this had less congruency than a lot of other cigars. It changed a lot, but it kept me guessing, and I really appreciated that about it. Whereas
I'm actually finding since COVID, I'm actually finding the last 3 years, Cuban cigars have really lost that for me. Every Cuban cigar that I've had in the last 3 years really has not
I'm a
given
bit
me
out
that
of
journey
practice
that I
based on
expect.
budget. I will confess, I've been smoking a lot of the same Cuban cigars that are sub $70 for a while. You know, I used to buy Partigas Series D when I started my business, 2013. Partigas Series D number 4s, I used to buy between $17.50 and $19.50.
Wow.
And then I think my price now is like 57. Like
Makes you wish you started stockpiled a few thousand of them.
Like my early cigars, when I was getting into it and smoking multiple cigars a day, I'd smoke like a Siglo 6, an Esplendido, and a fucking Series D number 4, and I'd still be under $100 for the day. It was insane.
Yeah.
So it's just a different world, and I guess because I was a little bit out of the game with the car accident, and for having to remember everything, like my name, and but yeah, I suppose that makes sense with when I talk to the people that I know in Cuba and my connections over there. They're saying this is the hardest times ever. Like even the people that grew up 1958, Castro coming in and Cuban exile 56, all that shit. They're saying it's worse and harder than ever before. So that means that they're going to be pumping as many cigars as they possibly can. And quality control probably is less of a concern until they get a bit more sorted, because everyone buys them. Anyway, I'll let you pitch it.
Stuart just chirped in, asked what was in the next pack. So emails went out this afternoon. If you didn't get an email, Stuart, just drop me a message on Facebook. We're limited in the number of packs we got because I've donated a single box from my own private stash. So we're limited by that one box that we have. But for December, we are having the Sobremesa Brûlée Blue. And that's a limited cigar. That cigar is only produced, I believe, around about 13,000, 15,000 sticks a year.
Looks
so we've got that one for December. January, my personal stash is a box of Perdomo Champagne Noir. So before they came out with the 10th anniversary in the Champagne and the Maduro and the Sun-Grown, they had that's in a Churchill.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So we're going to have a nice big stick on in January. And then February stick is going to be a Garofalo Toro. Now, the reason I chose Garofalo is that that's actually contract manufactured for United Cigars by Perdomo. So United Cigars don't have their own facility. They actually get other companies contract manufacture for them. So I just thought it would be nice. We've had a lot of Perdomo cigars over the years, and it'd actually be nice to have a cigar that's technically not Perdomo, but still made by Perdomo and see what they're like.
Yeah. It's what Perdomo sells. And that way, if you go to do your own brand, you know what you can do. Because there's only one company that would roll it for you, surely.
Yeah.
But with Stuart, so the next pack is first in, best dressed, just because of the number limited. But we are giving first priority to all of those who have been subscribed to this pack and the last pack.
How many packs you got?
I think it works out. There's 25 in the box, I think. So.
So 25 packs?
It's 24 sticks or 25 sticks in the box. So whatever it is. The other two cigars that are in there, I've actually got more. So after the pack, if people like them and want to get hold of some of them, they can. Even with this pack that we've got at the moment, we've got extra left over. So if people want to add to their orders on that, that's also able to be done as well.
Just throwing out an idea. Because we're going to have a heap of guests coming through that are passionate about drinking and smoking and that kind of thing. I'm just about to recommission my single door humidor. I got to fix the glass down the bottom. It might be worth even doing a little flyer where you could whack your details down here where people could grab it, whether it's just a QR code where they could scan and tune into the show or find your link tree and your socials or what you're doing, because I'm going to be telling a lot of people about cigars here. And really, I try to send all my all my customers to you, really, that aren't Cuban specific. Like,
Yep.
so maybe we should talk about that offline. I'm thinking out loud and doing it on camera, but we should talk about that. Like, bigger than a business card, maybe a DL size. What you guys do, packs, stick it in, have a QR code where they can link into maybe the previous live streams you've done, and I can talk about it while they're down here, and that way I can steer them straight to you, and then we can see if we can get it from 1 box to 2 boxes a quarter. I don't know if that's your goal. Is that still your goal? I don't know. I know it's a good tight-knit group.
Look, I mean, moving forward,
I reckon I can help this and I can kick this along.
So moving forward, the next pack and this pack, I definitely, because the number of people with tough times at the moment, I've kept the numbers low. But moving forward in future packs after the next pack, most of the cigars for next year and even heading into the following year, that's how far ahead I've actually already worked out what the packs are going to be. Most of the sticks moving forward after that are actual regular production cigars. So, inventory is not going to be an issue.
Great. Cool. Well, let's talk about that when you and I talk, actually. So we haven't had much of a chance to talk lately, but I reckon we should do something with that. Ozzy John, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Another cunt that didn't comment on your beard, Damo. Shit, man. I like your beard, Damo. It's looking extra. It's like you chose your shirt to accentuate your beard.
Yeah.
And here Omar is in his grey jumper.
This is my Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust
wow.
shirt. Just for something different. Because Topher's not on the show tonight.
Huh?
Every time Topher's on the show, I'm always wearing a Perdomo shirt. So I just thought, just to prove everybody that I have
what we should
shirts
do?
other than Perdomo.
If Topher's ever not on the a show, we should just wear no shirts. Be like, no shirts, no shirt show. Maybe we all get matching smoking jackets.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just a chest hair and beard show. Since
well, that's definitely something Topher wouldn't be able to join us on.
Since the three of us have it or have decided to keep it or whatever the reason is that he's avoided it.
John has been wild.
Yeah. There you go. So I reckon you guys need to talk amongst yourself, work out a date and come back to me. And then we'll work out once we have an idea. So the way our retreats work at the moment is one night it's $475 a head, 2 nights is $750 a head per person, twin share. The 2 nights includes a distillery tour, includes all your food, booze, and a Aussie single cask whiskey masterclass, which I sell for $175 a head. The idea is we're just trying to sit cheaper than what yoga retreats would be, but include all your food, which they do, which is normally vegan, but ours includes meat, and include all your booze and still be $100 cheaper than yoga retreats, basically. Yeah. However, so that's on a minimum of 8. If we can get those numbers up, then I can bring, I'm happy to break even on it. I just need to hit that as a minimum to cover my rent for the week plus food and booze, basically. That's the cost of that. And then anything else is the cream. So if you don't get that, we can sleep tail if you like. But anyway, work out your numbers, work out your date, and then and I will do my best to accommodate. But I think it's probably time that everyone caught up in one location.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yep.
3 years in, probably, possibly, and then we can all talk about how we're going to plot for doomsday together. So it's a bigger back end on this cigar. More stereotypically Dominican than the rest of the cigar has been, I would say, but not quite the sweetness you'd expect out of the Dominican. Maybe that's a Brazilian coming through. If anyone's had Dona Flor cigars before, or Dona Flora, I can't remember what it is. They're quite lovely. and they do accommodate. I believe the original founders were in Cuba and left during the exile and went to Brazil, and then took Cuban seed with them, and then have been running it for hundreds of generations, as in generations of tobaccos, not generations of humans. Since in Maduro and Cuban Natural and those kind of varietals, but this kind of finish for me is really akin to that. It's like very earthed, spiced black forest cake. Sand sweetness. Like there's that little bit of cream, there's that jamminess, and like that density of black forest cake, but it's spicier and earthier, more like an overload on nutmeg and something, and like some sort of powdered, deep, rich smoked mushroomy kind of flavor. Do you know what I mean? It's got like that earthiness to it.
Umami, as Damo says.
Yeah, it's not Vegemite, but it's getting there.
It's getting there.
It's not MSG, it's not miso, but it's like along that fucking. If you're 23% of the way to miso with a mushroom kind of overtone, maybe.
It's getting to savory ending.
Oh, hugely savory, hugely dry, powdery, like a really dry finish. Really dry, but not peppery, and not spicy in a bitey sense. Just in an earthy, mild, like a mild Christmas cake spice sense. Do you want to finish that off, brother? Wait, do you want to finish that whiskey? No. Are you good? Still got my mate here.
Cool.
He's very patient.
He looks like it.
You can see him in the reflection.
Ash foot smoke, even right down at the nub, is still
the smoke volume is building for sure, and the construction quality for me is dissipating as I'm getting like that humidity is coming through. Like it's more mangled for me, but it could be the way I'm treating it. But not unenjoyable. But I don't think I'm going to get right to the overhand nub hold. I think I'm going to be content earlier than that.
Yeah, well,
I really enjoy this.
I'm really down to the business end here.
I think that's about where I'm going to call it based on where I'm going now. I'm about a centimetre away from there.
Pete just blew a ring and he wasn't even blowing a ring.
Probably out of a nostril. Well, boys, it's nice to be back.
Very good to see you.
Now you guys are on a Wednesday, and once a month, I'm hoping to do a whole lot more of these.
Yes.
And considering I've updated my Facebook page and turned it to Whiskey Pete's Poorhouse, which I assume is still live streaming through. So I thought it's probably time I come back and talk about what we're doing a little bit each
time. Well, we can tell Topher we don't need him anymore.
Yeah.
But so it's good to be back and talking about what's going on. And I've been on my own personal journey of trying to tick things off and get ahead and put some runway behind me to get focused so I can get set up in a place like this so I can do more of this. So once a month on a Wednesday. Wednesdays can be corporate events days, so I'm not going to commit to all of them, but I'm going to do my best to be subbing in and telling the story.
Look, I thought we were really going to have an absolutely fantastic show tonight. I really thought we were going to finish just on an absolute high note.
Let's do it.
But I hate to break it to you. We're not going to finish on the high note that we thought we were going to finish on.
Oh,
did you miss me?
Look at that! What a fucking backdrop and everything. This looks pre-recorded as fuck. Hi, Damo. Congratulations on your award. I'm sorry I can't be there. I'm super proud of you, and I wish you all the happiest of returns. And
just for that, just because you're giving me shit, I'm gonna load up a background here.
Topher, I'm only just letting you know that we've been giving you shit. You're on the tail end, brother. I hope you've gone through the bloopers and the rough reel just to catch up, so you've got 10 minutes to defend yourself on the last tail end.
Look, all I'm going to say is I haven't posted my Christmas presents yet, and I'm not going to until after I've watched the replay.
That's good. I've never received one yet.
Well, that's because I still haven't posted it because I watched the replay. Yeah.
All right.
No, look, genuine apologies, gentlemen. I ended up with an intractable scheduling issue with a guest in the UK that I needed to interview, so I do apologize. And I literally had just finished and jumped on here. What was that?
I said you're busy changing the world while we're getting drunk.
Look,
I'm getting drunk and the other boys are catching up on the Lapsang Chushong.
Don't talk about them. Don't talk to me about what they drink. Thank you.
I came, I saw, I conquered, and you bounced.
Yeah, I know. Listen, congratulations on the poorhouse. I love the name. It's very, very funny. As soon as I saw it pop up in my news feed, I went and had a look at where it was, and I went, damn it, it's a solid sort of 5 hours drive away from home for me. So I'm not going to be there every day.
4 from you. 4.
Is it 4? Is it? Well, I'm still not going to be there every day.
I don't want you here every day. But when you cruise
driving mood.
Well, only because I feel like you're better off in the public speaking realm rather than the cleaning toilets and so you'd be surprised how much shit is involved in running a farm. Basically, it like the shit kicker. It's like shit mover, stirrer, cleaner. I took 35 buckets of koi shit out of the koi pond that is 600 liters to give you an idea. So you don't want to be here every day, but the days I want you here for are the high energy days, the high community days where we speak to the people and we have a spot where everyone can be themselves.
Look, listen, I've just had an epiphany. It just suddenly makes so much sense to me now. I was looking at your beard and admiring your beard. It's kind of like the younger brother of Omar's beard, and similar sort of color tones and everything. And then you mentioned cleaning toilets, and I was like, of course, you don't have to carry a toilet brush around with you when you got that strapped to your face. And obviously, Omar just has bigger toilets to clean. It suddenly just all clicked for me.
Yeah.
That's a 20-foot urinal brush where you work side steps, crab steps. We have a toilet brush in every bathroom. You'll be pleased to know down here.
Delighted.
It might be hilltop, but it's not hill plop. Anyway, yeah, nice. I love it.
I'm done on my cigar now. I'm going to say thank you. I'm at the point where I'm done.
Yeah,
so really, I show up and then you just like
a good hour 30. And
I think we all feel
something.
That way. Great cigar though, killer cigar, Damo. Fucking immaculate choice, really special and unique, and worth taking the time to talk about. You know, like it's easy to find cigars that taste like cigars all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like you could just hunt the same shit all the time, but this was very different to any cigar I've ever smoked. So really appreciative. Great research.
And the good thing is, unlike some of the other cigars that I have a fetish for putting in the packs, this one is a current production cigar. So it's not like you'll never get it again. It's available, and you can enjoy it as many times as you like.
Miracles do
there's
happen.
Nothing wrong with fetish cigars.
No, nothing at all.
Post yours back, Topher.
Hey?
You'll have to post yours back.
No, I'm hanging on to that. After I'm just reading some of the comments. I'm seeing licorice bullets here. I'm seeing all kinds of tasting notes that I don't often see. So I'm now really curious.
Really, really fucking unique thirds. Like it's more diverse than I've had out of a Cuban. Really, really, really engaging, interesting cigar. And even the way the draw changed, because towards this back end, as it's loosening and falling apart, really, looser, easier, more flavoursome draw. But it was like smoking 5 different cigars, to be honest.
Yeah.
5 different small cigars that smoked like Robustos.
So speaking of the back end being loose, which is what you were just talking about, this comment from Stuart has really whet my appetite. I cannot wait to taste this cigar now. I'm assuming this was a review of the cigar, and it's a real testament to Damo's skill that he's able to unearth these absolutely.
Just amazing. I thought he was talking about the flavor profile of the 3 of us talking, sitting down and talking. Hour and 45. It's just a beautiful
now, Omar, was I wrong when I guessed that the color tones in this cigar would be just about a perfect match for your forehead?
Yes.
It's got to be just about spot on.
That one
hold it up there. Come on, get it up there.
Wow. I hope
it's got to be a perfect match.
Topher.
It's good to see all you boys. Hey, so you missed out on all the chat, Topher, but we were talking about maybe doing a cigar potential retreat here.
Nice. Yeah. I'll be in for that.
I'm an hour, literally 60 minutes from CBD, from Sydney Airport, which
nice.
would make me 40 minutes, 4 hours from your joint.
Yep.
But we could do a courtesy bus or whatever. I can sleep up to 20 at the moment, and I reckon by the time you're ready to go, I could do 26 to 30. If you've got for whatever. But I need a minimum of 8 to make it work. So
a nice cigar boys weekend.
But the thing is with that, Topher's going to be sharing a bed with Omar.
Yeah, well, it's twin fucking share.
He did say it was twin share.
Twin share.
But
we can turn them into kings. They zip together, or we can do them as singles. I just thought I'd show you. I know it's all a bit of a mess because I'm doing shit at the moment. So this is the first part of the deck.
Yeah, nice.
Which is actually bigger, but there's also all these are all fly screens, metal fly screens that open up.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if
Yep, he's losing his Wi-Fi. Whiskey Peter's gone dark.
Nope. I lost the internet briefly. Anyway.
No, you know what it is? That fly screen is a Faraday.
So we do an event. We could do a cigar event for opposite. Yeah, right. No, I'm on. We got Starlink here, so I probably walk, but it's in the other end of the house, so I probably walk away from it too far. But we could do up to 120 for an event here, easy.
Yeah, right.
Cigars.
Nice.
Let me know.
Cool.
Yeah. Great cigar, Damo. Well done. Really enjoyed it, and nice to see everyone.
You're welcome.
Thanks for
it was a good cigar. It's a good cigar to welcome you back into the show.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's great to be back, and it's even better to have something to talk about other than defeat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like historically, whenever I was doing social media, when I was really proactive on social media, that meant I was slower with all my work and that kind of thing. But after as many years as I was giving it a crack, you get over having to invent things to talk about. You know what I mean? Like you just get over having to force being interesting. So I kind of just need to take a hiatus until I had something interesting to talk about. And now I do. So
there you go. Mission accomplished.
Weren't we just saying that that's something Topher could probably do next year? Have that hiatus to get interesting things to talk about?
Yeah. Oh, do you need a few? I can write speeches for you.
Listen, the most interesting man in the world called me last week asking for tips. So, I'm just saying, like, I don't think I need any help.
I fucking did not.
Deny everything.
Bro.
No. Alrighty, chaps. Well, I'm sorry to have missed you. It sounds like it was an amazing night.
Yeah, it was a good night.
It was. And you missed just about every minute of it.
But we'll do it again.
We'll do it again for sure.
We'll do it again. Either so the next show, what date's it meant to be? If it's the last
It's
The
the
Friday,
last
Wednesday.
Wednesday of the month.
Oh,
So
Wednesday,
that's it's
I'm
going to
just
be
bringing up
like,
the
hang on, let me
calendar.
pull up the calendar, 27th of December.
Oh yeah, okay. I won't. So I've rented the place out. I think I get back on the 28th. I might be in
Okay.
Port Macquarie that day, but I'll still probably be in the show. I'll just be in a different location.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't see any issue for me. I'm taking 2 weeks off for the first time in years, so I will be around, and you will see me whether you want to or not.
Shit, yeah. But talk amongst yourselves. Maybe even if you wanted to send a email out to the group, work out a date that you'd be interested in, gauge some numbers, work it out. So long as I can cover my rent for the week, I'm good.
Mm.
You know, like I'm here to
Good.
assist as much as I can. Just get me a few numbers and we'll make it work.
Sounds good.
Rock and roll, boys. Great show.
Yeah.
Nice to see everyone again. I'm getting out of here.
Alrighty.
Or
Well,
actually, I'm staying here.
I
I'm
think we
getting
call that a
off.
wrap for the show. And as I already said, the invoices have gone out. Get in quick because there are limited numbers in the next
Pay
pack.
the bills because I'll be selling the rest of them. Do it quick.
Okay.
Perfect. Later,
Other
gents.
than
I'm
that,
out.
we'll see you all after Christmas. So have a good Christmas and we'll see you before
Yeah.
the new year.
Indeed.
Drive
See you then.
safe. Bye.